Hey, everybody. This is your girl, Coach Angela Carey, and I am the Elite Holistic Life Coach Specialist for high performing women who are looking to take their entire lives to the next level through internal transformation. I'm talking mind, body, and soul. So, listen, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who may be listening, tonight is Tuesday, and every Tuesday night I come in live at 9 o'clock for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the whole purpose of this is just to share pearls of wisdom that will spur internal growth in your life. And what does that mean? I'm going to be sharing words, thoughts, inspiration that is really going to trigger something in you, a good type of trigger that will cause you to think there's more to life. I can do better. There's more for me out there. And I don't want to quit with the goals that I have set before me. If you can leave feeling any bit better than before you came, then I've served my purpose. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And tonight's whole topic is on what many think is a dichotomy, but it's actually one and the same. And that is how you can be a masterpiece and still be a work in progress at the very same time. You all, this is so important. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too about this topic. I remember when this was said to me a while back, and I think it was before I even broke out into being a life coach and got my certification. And I find that to be such a compelling statement, especially for those of us that are in business or we're competitive by nature, or we hold ourselves to a really high standard. A lot of times we can get really down on ourselves because we have these two thoughts in our mind. One, that we are this beautiful masterpiece, right? That we are flawless, that we are confident, that we are secure, that we're healed and we're whole, right? We're all about that self-care, and we know that we're worthy to walk into whatever promise that we think that we are entitled to. But then at the same time, we recognize all the flaws that we have in our lives, all the things that we need to work on, all the imperfections, all the nuances in our lives that we just haven't quite ironed out. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That is exactly where you need to be. Think about it. What's a masterpiece? When we think about what a masterpiece is, what are some of the things that we think of? We think of those beautiful pieces of art, right? Like Mona Lisa for some. You know, some of us may think of a beautiful song as a masterpiece because it tugs on the heartstrings and the melody is just right, right? And then some of us may think a home is a masterpiece. Perhaps it's beautifully decorated and staged just perfectly. And perhaps a restaurant is a masterpiece because it creates this ambiance that makes you feel a certain type of way. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, masterpiece is so much more than that, because masterpiece, it's really in the eye of the beholder, right? It is so nuanced, it is so subjective, and it's ongoing. You can continue to be everything, the brilliance that you have, the ideas that you own, the dreams that you're walking into that you want to fulfill, the assignment that you're about to go into, that book that you're about to write. All of those things don't necessarily say to other people that you have reached perfection. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's you stating to them and to yourself that no, I haven't reached perfection, but I recognize that I am progressing toward being my authentic self. And that is where the masterpiece comes in. Guys, there is no progress without change. Being a masterpiece, you aren't that because you're just not a still object. You're dynamic, you're ever evolving, you're ever changing. You have a right to make mistakes, learn from them, grow, and move on, most importantly. A lot of us are so hard on ourselves and we stop when we recognize a flaw in our lives. We stop growing or moving toward what's been promised to us or what we believe we're supposed to be walking into, because we start recognizing things in us or processes around us that need to change, and we stop and we don't move forward. That is not the objective. You need to stop and recognize that everything that you've been gifted with is a masterpiece in and of itself. And that progress that you are going through, that's the masterpiece right there. The whole process of you evolving is what's the masterpiece for others to see. I think of my life like right now, literally, probably about 20, 30 minutes ago, I was redoing my daughter's hair because I had, for the first time, put it in two French braids. I was telling a friend of mine today, they had, begged me to put their hair in these French braids. And so they wanted me to add some hair to it so that it could stay longer. So I tried. I figured out a way to do it. They even wanted me to put in some baby hairs around the side. And I was like, all right, I'm good. I created my masterpiece. Well, my little one came home and there was like a piece of the braid like just sticking straight out. And I'm like, what happened to your hair? That's like a mother's nightmare, and it happens all the time. I'm so used to it that it really doesn't faze me. So we got into it and we were fighting, and I was angry and upset. And I thought to myself, this is crazy. I get myself all riled up because this girl got this little piece of hair sticking out. Right. Okay. Excuse me. Laying the edges. Right. Well, I was trying to lay the edges down and it just was not working. So, like, by the end of the day, she had the hair sticking out and then the edges, it was kind of like curled up coming out on the side. It was a hot mess. It really was. I'm not a hairdresser. I'm trying, but I'm definitely not a hairdresser. So, I was just like, this is crazy. So I just undid the whole thing. I took out both the braids and I put two buns in the back of the head and put the little cap around there and put the nightcap on there and was called it a day. And I said, whatever I need to do in the morning, I'll work it out. I'll figure it out. But can I tell you, that whole process that I went through prepared me for tonight's message, right? Think about it. Guys, we go through so much every day, you know, and we always want to project, especially on social media, this perfection, that everything is good, that everything is flawless, every picture we're editing, we're kind of got the lighting going, we've got the makeup on, and we got everything there for aesthetics, as my 12-year-old says. That's her favorite word. The aesthetics is right. But you know what? I think the magnificence and the brilliance and the beauty that most people really appreciate and they see that authenticity comes in is through the work in progress. When you are vulnerable to show that in front of other people and they see you grow and come through those valleys, those dips, those challenges, and you still manage to make it through, that's what's inspiring. It's not the end product, guys. It's you. You are the beautiful masterpiece. I find it more of a joy to watch people work through the progress of going to that gym every day. There's a girlfriend that I'm highly inspired by. She has been hitting that gym every day. And sometimes she shows up and she's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to be at home, eating some Haagen-Dazs, watching TV, being with someone else. But she pushes through. It is in those moments that the masterpiece is really being shown through. We live in a world of polarities, you guys. There's always light, there's darkness. There's heat, there's cold. But both of those things exist on the same plane. Look at a thermometer. You have 0 degrees and 100 degrees, but it's all on the same thermometer. You determine where you want to be on that spectrum, okay? But the beauty is still there. Everything that you're going through is for someone else. Exactly. You have got to be real. That is where the magic is. That's the sweet spot. The minute you start to veer off into just showing up and not being you, that's where the masterpiece kind of goes off to the side and you become like everybody else. Be authentic. Be exactly who you were created to be. Don't swallow the authenticity that is in your voice, because when that goes, you go, and the people connected to you go away. All right. So I just wanted to come up here before you guys and encourage you and remind you, don't be hard on yourself. You can be that amazing, brilliant masterpiece full of confidence, hitting whatever stage is for you at the right time, and still be a work in progress. And guess what? For all of those ladies and men that are all about excellence, you will be a work in progress until you leave this earth. So hopefully that takes a lot of the stress off of your life from not being perfect, resting in your humanity, okay? There are a lot of people out here that I look up to that I've seen flip some tables, all right? So give yourself some grace. And giving yourself grace will allow you to continue towards that masterpiece that you already are. All right? So be encouraged. I hope that you guys were inspired. Again, quick nuggets to spur internal growth in your life. Refocus, recharge, reconnect as many times as you flipping need to get it right. All right? All right, guys. So have a wonderful evening. I will see you again next Tuesday at 9 o'clock just for a quick pick me up. If you're seeing it on the replay, please let me know that you were watching it. And hopefully you all send me good vibes that my daughter's 2 little puff ponytails will be okay in the morning. If not, it's going to be all right. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful evening, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.